Yeah, thanks everyone for coming along, really appreciate it. I just wanted to let everyone know that this morning Dane Rampy and Luke Parker let the playing group know that they'll be stepping down as captains of this football club, and I wanted to first of all thank them as co-captains of this footy club, both what they've done on the field, off the field, their relationship with me, obviously all of us, that'll still continue, wonderful leaders of this footy club. I wanted to really thank them for what they've done in the co-captaincy role, which then as we've moved on to really proud to announce that Callum Mills will be our captain of our footy club, our sole captain of the footy club. Really proud that that Millsy's come through our QBE academy system and has come through the local pathways to captain this footy club, and he's a wonderful leader. He won't be available until around the mid-season in an on-field sense, but his captaincy absolutely has been going for a few years now and will continue to develop. Whether he plays what time of the year, he'll be still captain of this footy club and working very, very much off the field in a development sense and helping this footy club be better. So I'd like to be able to hand it over to you, Millsy, and introduce the new captain of the Sydney Swans, Callum Mills.
Thanks, Horse. I appreciate it. Thanks very much for being here. I'm super privileged and honoured to be able to be sole captain of the footy club. It's something I hold really close to my heart, and I just want to mention a massive thanks to Dane and Luke. It's an extremely selfless approach to be able to hand it over to myself, and I think the tenure that they had as captains has been extremely pivotal in this club's history. They started in 2019, and it's when we lost over 1,000 games worth of experience. Sorry, and led us through COVID, and it was a really significant time for the footy club, and we're in a better position now for their leadership. So I personally want to say thanks to Dane and Luke for all they've done, and as I said, I'm extremely privileged and excited, and I don't take this lightly, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Callum, did you know this was coming? Had this been in discussion with your other two co-captains or previous co-captains? And after that, can you tell us what it means to you to be the sole captain of the Sydney Swans?
Yeah, Dane and Luke told me about a week ago. So, I was extremely humbled and proud that they saw me as the man to sort of take the club forward. And as I said, I just feel really humbled and privileged to be able to represent this footy club and be able to lead this group forward.
Callum, what sort of emotions are you going through having accepted the job and given what happened on Mad Monday?
Yeah, it's sort of been a journey, and I think I've learned a lot about myself over the period and as a leader as well. And I think the fact that I'm human and obviously made a mistake, but I think I'm not going to let it define me and be able to lead the group the best I can. And it's been a big couple of months, but I'm really looking forward to the future.
Do you owe a lot to the bloke sitting beside you?
Yeah, I do, and I think the biggest thing that we took out of it is our relationship being extremely strong, and I felt supported by Horse throughout this whole journey, which is a testament to Horse and the footy club, and I'm really proud that I'm able to work alongside him.
How are you tracking with Rehab?
Yeah, it's going really well. So we're on course and getting strength into the shoulder now. So as we said, it'll be around the mid-season mark, and I'll be doing everything I can to get back as soon as possible.
John, is that how the club saw it as well when Millsy makes that mistake, that this is still a leader and still someone we can hang our hat on?
Oh, I think that while it was disappointing and clearly a mistake, but in the end you sit back and he's the man to lead this footy club, and that was consistent right across from the chairman to the board, the exec, the playing group, really consistent and strong, and in the end, he's the bloke to be able to lead this footy club going forward. We're so fortunate to have such a good core young group of players, and we're really fortunate to have that group. And Millsy's been able to learn off some of the previous captains that have gone before him. The ones that have stood down today obviously are as good as any, and so we feel now's the time's right. And whilst we love him playing, he's not, but that doesn't mean he can't be a great captain of this footy club in the first half of the year anyway. And we think he's got a great opportunity to be able to put his stamp on it.
What is the single captain model offer that the multi-captain one that you guys have used for a while now?
Yeah, we've been pretty flexible. We've had, Joey Kennedy's been sole captain of the footy club, and we've used what we thought was right at the time. We've followed the same model now. It just felt like now was the right time, and I think everyone felt that's involved with our footy club. And so if everyone felt that at this footy club, including Dane and Luke, it's about time. And that doesn't mean down the track that we don't do a different model or whatever, but we've clearly done that in the past, and it's worked for that particular time. And we feel at this particular time it's now Callum's job to be able to lead, and it doesn't mean he's surrounded by some terrific leaders at this footy club, both young and old. So it's not just his on its own. There'll be others that'll be helping.
So John, was the decision one that Dane and Luke came to themselves, or was it quietly suggested to them this could be the best?
Well, the first sort of suggestion was probably from Ramps at the end of the season. He's got a wonderful sort of ability to be able to sit back and look at things in a bigger picture, and he just said at the time, I think it's about time. I think the timing's about right, and then so we had a few discussions over the off season with Luke and Ramps and Callum, and it just felt about right. And I think that's probably where it sort of started. I think it was always, everyone had probably expected at some point Callum was going to do the job. I think that was probably an unspoken given, if you want, in amongst the playing group, and it just sort of grew legs, I guess, over the summer months, and to the decision today.
Cal, did Dane and Luke give you any words of advice going ahead?
I think the best thing that they said is they're not going anywhere. I'm still going to need them. They're unbelievable leaders in their own right, and I think that was supporting for me, is that they're still going to be helping along the journey, and I'll need them as much as ever.
Callum, after the Mad Monday incident, you said that you speak to some of the senior players. What were those conversations like? Because obviously you are the man for the job in their eyes, but what were those conversations like after it happened?
Oh, it was just talking about honestly what happened, and we were very open, both Horse and I, with the playing group, and I think that was the only way forward. And there were tough conversations, but I think the respect both ways was something that really, really helped with those conversations.
Have you got a leadership group settled, or is that to come for this season?
We'll work through that before the start of the season, but we're confident in the leaders we've got at this footy club, and it's broader than actually Callum. It's broader than Dane and Luke. We've got a really good group of, and going down to our younger players before. We've got a number of players now that have played a lot of footy together, 80 to 100 games, and those guys are real drivers and key players in this football club now. So there's a lot of those guys that are coming through now that we can't wait to see develop, not just in a leadership sense, but in a football sense. Everything about them, we're really confident in that group.
So have you settled on a captain until Callum's fit, John?
We'll rotate that. We've done it before at this footy club a number of times. It sort of it doesn't change what we do as far as who tosses a coin. It's an important job for everyone, whether you're a first or second gamer to an experienced player like Luke Parker, who's played 280 games. So we feel like we're in a good state to be able to handle that.
Callum, it's clear that this club means a lot to you. Were you worried that after everything that happened at the end of last year that leadership might not be an option for you this year? Were you worried that might be a consequence at all?
Yeah, it runs through your mind when you make mistakes. That definitely runs through your mind. But as I sort of go back, the conversations that I had with Horse, the support I felt from the club, board down, was something that was quite reassuring. And when you make a mistake, to have people that have your back is extremely important. And I'm just extremely thankful for the people that we have at the footy club.
And do you see yourself come round one in those opening weeks, sitting on the bench next to Horse, next to probably Leon and others, trying to really have your influence on the bench as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll be playing a part on game day. What that is, I'm not sure quite yet. I might have to take a couple of seats down from you because Horse is quite loud. But no, I'll definitely be involved some way or shape on game day.
How are you going in terms of your rehab? John mentioned mid-season. Isaac said it's going well. Like, Are you going ahead of schedule, or is it just ticking along nicely in terms of?
It's around mid-season. Don't hold me to it, please. I don't want to make close-ended statements.
No, it's going well. You know, I catch up with the shoulder specialist quite often, and it's very much in stages. So, but at the moment, it's all going well.
How did you cope, Cal, after all that happened, mentally, even because it has to be taxing after the Mad Monday incident?
Yeah, I think I'm sort of my biggest critic, but as I said, the support I had was great, and that sort of allowed me to be able to take a breath in the off season and then refocus myself for going forward.
What's the difference going to be being a sole captain as opposed to one of three? What's the biggest job for you now?
Oh, look, I don't think it's going to be a massive shift, to be honest. As I said, we've got extremely great leaders in the club, and it's not going to be all weighted on my shoulders. We've got a great mix of leaders, young and old, that I'm going to lean on, and we'll get the best out of each other.
John, you mentioned it was a bit of a given that Callum was going to be sole captain of the club one day. How long have you felt that? Because I know you've said in the past like your first meeting with Callum when he was 16 or 17, you thought he was probably going to be the captain one day.
Yeah, that's after he questioned our game plan. And I said to him at the time, you know, you had to go, young fella, you little smart aleck. But I did think straight away that he's got a great temperament to be able to do it. He really cares about the team. In that sort of, in every conversation you have, when he's on field, off field, it's always about what can we do to make the team better. And the role that he plays in that doesn't really worry him. He hasn't got an ego in that way, in that sense. It's all about the team and how can we make individuals better to help us be a better team. And so over the journey, you have many of those conversations, and you know, his ability to be able to just keep thinking team and how can we keep improving is the thing that stands out. And in the end, that's the thing that still stands out. And you know, we all make mistakes, we all learn. And even as coaches, and so you know, the ability for Callum to be able to go on this journey, we think is going to be ultimately, you know, in his captaincy, a real learning experience for him. And we've got absolute confidence that Millsy has been and will continue to be a fantastic leader for this footy club. And you know, I feel really confident sitting alongside him today to be able to, you know, introduce him as captain of this footy club, and can't wait for us to continue working together to make the club better.
John, you've been at the club since the academy was established. To have a boy come through the academy like Millsy and both have an impact on the team and now become the standalone captain, what does that say for both kind of the academy and footy?
Yeah, from a broader football sense, you know, we've been really fortunate, whether it's Jerry McVeigh who's in the room or Kieran Jack, who have come through the local New South Wales system, and you know, from primary school age all the way through. And I was fortunate enough to be able to play for New South Wales as well. So to be able to have that experience in football in this state has been wonderful, and then see what happens with you know, the academy and the importance of it. And one of my great thrills is seeing Australian rules football grow in this state, in particular this city, in the most competitive sporting market in the world, and sitting back and seeing the interest in the game now based upon guys like this who come through our academy system, Isaac Heaney, these guys that come through our academy system, Errol Goulden, you can name them, and the local kids really identify with that, and the conversations you have at school levels now are just completely different what they were 20 years ago. It's actually, you know, really cool to, you know, to be a young kid coming through this city and playing AFL football, and I think that's just wonderful. Really great for the code.
And Cal, that day you filled in for your mates footy team, did you ever think it would lead to a moment like this?
No, definitely not. You know, it was a while ago now, but I just think, you know, the opportunity that AFL now has in this state has been so crucial to not only my development but so many others, and the academy was a massive factor into my decision to play AFL, and you know, I'm just so grateful that there's that opportunity in New South Wales and Sydney specifically.